Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell you something. You look at what's going on in boxing right now, there aren't many of these great fighters who are really daring to be great. From the heavyweight division, cruiserweight division, guys at light heavyweight are trying, and you come on down to super middleweight, super welterweight, and then you drop on down, right? You're really not getting the type of fights that would really help to resuscitate pay-per-view sales. But Dan Rafael kind of got it right, man, in an article he put out, which I thought was interesting. When we just kind of take a look at what the hell Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia are doing, Inoue and Fulton are doing, right? Let me make this clear. Inoue and Fulton did not have to fight. Let me also foot stomp this. Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis did not have to fight. What we're seeing happening here, right? Hopefully we see a pattern. Hopefully we see other fighters take a page out of these guys' notebook and say, you know what? These smaller guys who are out here showing us how to get it done. They're not worried about taking a loss. They're going to put it all on the line. Because I'm going to tell you in boxing, one loss, it may feel bad. It may be hard to climb out of that trough of depression. But let me tell you, it's not a career ender, especially for a guy like Tank and Ryan. It's not a career ender for Tank to lose against Ryan. It's not a career ender for Ryan to lose against Tank. Those guys are two elite fighters. That's where you want to fight, and that's where if you're going to take a loss, that's the kind of person you want to take a loss against. Inoue and Fulton. It's not a career ender if Inoue loses to Fulton or Fulton loses to Inoue. I mean, that's who you want to be in the ring with if you take a loss. You don't want to have a fluke like Rashidi Ellis and Roman Villa. Like, that's not something you want to happen. So that being said, Dan Rafael kind of gets it right in the article that he published. He goes on to say in his article, while Earl Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford continue to ignore their legacies with frustrating years-long inaction when it comes to making a fight boxing fans have demanded for several years, one for which both would earn millions and elevate themselves, win or lose, just like we just talked about, man. There are a lot, and at least some young fighters bucking their poor example and making meaningful fights at the highest levels while they're still approaching their prime or in it. And that's where he's talking about Inoue, Fulton, Garcia, and Tank. He goes on to say that he's not casting blame on Spence and Crawford specifically. Yes, he is. But all I know is they have yet to fight when it's only about that makes the most sense for both of them. It will be for undisputed welterweight championship status, and each would make his biggest payday. Nah. I kind of have a little bit of an issue with this, right? When you come out there and make a statement, a broad brush statement about Crawford and Spence making their biggest payday, maybe he has an inside scoop on what kind of money Spence is making, because we know Crawford. Not really sure what's going on with Crawford, but I think there was a point in time when maybe Spence was making damn good money, because we know when Spence fought Mikey Garcia got paid. I don't want to throw out just a BS number, but if I remember, it was something like some 15, 16 million. You know what I'm saying? I think it was something ridiculous like that. Over 10 million, I know that. But I could have sworn his brother, Robert Garcia, said Mikey made like 15, 16 million. Remember, at that time, Mikey was hot. Everybody wanted to sign Mikey. And he went on to take on Spence, and it's like, you got to pay me if you want me to go in there and take on that kind of risk. And my thing is, if it's true, because you see so much crap on the internet, so I don't know what to believe, but if it's true that he made 15, 16, makes me wonder what Spence made. Now, that being said, I don't know if just how much money Crawford and Spence could make if they fought. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to tell you this, right? He goes on to say that, for now, though, I'm done wasting time on this absurdity and a fight that's been unmade for whatever BS reason there is. He said he'd rather look at the great fights that are now made that as we fans have wanted to see, because every now and then, the right fights are made, and even at the exact right time. Case in point is a pair of recently finalized bouts that are very clearly two of the best, most interesting fights that possibly could have been made. I give you 4 fighters willing to put their unbeaten records on the line against a legitimate opponent where the outcome of the fight is in serious doubt, where the styles of the boxers should mesh well. One was a pain in the ass to get worked out, but finally was. The other came together with no drama whatsoever. In the first instance, I'm talking about Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. In the second one, I write of Naoya Inoue and Stephen Fulton. Now, I'm going to sit here and tell you right now, these 2 fights are going to be absolutely amazing. Everybody knows I'm always picking a winner in a fight. Doesn't mean I get it right. I'm actually doing pretty poorly when it comes to picking a fighter to win a fight. But with Inoue and Fulton, I have Inoue getting to Fulton at some point in the fight. I just do. I just think it's too much. I think Fulton is a special talent, but something else I was thinking about. You know, I don't know how long Fulton is going to be over there, but sometimes, man, it takes some people. Remember my background. I've traveled all around. I've had to change assignments multiple times, but I've seen people, man, where it takes them, over a month, you know what I'm saying, to acclimate to a new country, to the new time zone. I mean, I've seen where people just struggle. Now, I don't know, this is one thing where I failed to do my research on. I don't know if this is Fulton's first time traveling overseas for a training camp, but I'm telling you, there are some fighters who struggle with that time change, and they struggle with acclimating to a new environment, and they struggle being around a new culture. And I just don't want to hear any excuses if Fulton was to lose. Now, if he goes over there and he shocks the world and shocks Japan, and can beat Inoue, then job well done to Fulton. But I just think it's an uphill battle for him. But that's what makes him great, is because he's willing to take that challenge and go out there and prove to the world that he's the better fighter. I really don't like the fact that he's talking about holding his ground. He needs to fight his fight. But Stephen Fulton, I want to make sure I make this clear. He is a special talent. But just what happens, when Inoue catches up to him. Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, another one of those situations. If you let Oscar tell it, we all need to thank him because he single-handedly made the fight happen. We all know Oscar De La Hoya, on occasion, refuses to hold his horses, and then he chooses to take it to the stupid with some of the things he says. But I'm going to tell you right now, with Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, I was listening to somebody talk today about Ryan Garcia, and they were saying they favor Tank, but they feel that Joe Goulston could be the difference in the fight. And now it's a video that I was watching, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really do it on these videos. You don't hear me cussing on the videos. But I will tell you what, I was cussing at the TV. Because this fool was saying, oh, you got to look at what Joe Goulston did for Chico Corrales. I'm like, man, shut up. For Chico Corrales and what he was able to do against Castillo. Man, get out of here with that crap, man. All right? Stop it. This isn't the same Joe Goulston. Ryan Garcia is not. Let me tell you. Talking about taking it to the stupid, Ryan Garcia is not Diego Corrales. He's not. He'll never be. If Ryan Garcia and Diego Corrales, you know, if we have a fantasy matchup and you put them in a ring together, who in here would really go against Diego Corrales? Against Ryan Garcia? So when people start talking that stupidness, I'm like, stop. Diego Corrales was just a special fighter, man. You had to hit him with a sawed-off shotgun, man. He's coming to fight. And he's not going to quit. He's just a different fighter, man. He's cut from a different cloth. But that being said, the rest in peace to Diego Corrales. But the Chico Corrales days are over, man, for Joe Goulston. All right, it's over. And we'll see. Ryan Garcia keeps hitting the little speed bag and doing his little video shorts and the little Instagram posts, and he's still out there, enjoying himself. He's a young man. He's supposed to do that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I just think Ryan Garcia's in over his head. And something else I'm going to tell you. I'm concerned about Jamal Charlo returning to the ring. Look at what Jarrett Hurd, man. When you coming off of a lot of inactivity, you can only improve so much with sparring. You know what I'm saying? Sparring helps you, but let me tell you, it's nothing like being in a real fight. Okay, so I just think Ryan Garcia, he's daring to be great, but he's already lost his right to complain because he chose not to remain active. And even his own promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, said he thinks Ryan Garcia is making a mistake. And I'm going to tell you, I think so too. But it doesn't mean that I'm totally counting Ryan out. Okay? I'm not doing that. But for Tank Davis, he's proven to not just be a hard hitter, to be smart in the ring, to set traps in the ring, to have patience in the ring. Him and Ryan Garcia, like I did a video, I've done several videos on those guys, but you look at look at their amateur experience, look at their professional experience, they bring a lot to the table. But Tank obviously just has a little bit more of something there. But I will tell you this, Tank does a lot of sparring. And I just did a video on Brandon Figueroa. We talk about the Jarrett Hurd syndrome, just, getting the boxing. How should I word this right? Just getting the dog beat out of you. Getting the punch resistance beat out of you. You know what I mean? Fight after fight, hard sparring sessions after hard sparring sessions. That takes something out of you over a period of time. So for Tank Davis, still young, still going strong, but hey, who knows? Maybe Tank Davis is too much sparring, too much fighting. I just saw a clip of Tank Davis sparring somebody, and that person he was sparring was rattling Tank's cage. I never seen Tank get hit like that in sparring, but he was rocking Tank. So that being said, to me it's a toss-up fight. I'm leaning towards Tank, but you just don't know when certain things show up in the ring. That's all I'm saying. But that being said, I'm so glad that we have really, really good fights coming up. Fulton and Inoue. What's frustrating, a lot of people don't really know about Inoue, man. I mean, the diehard boxing fans, but when I'm out here talking to people, they don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Talking about Fulton, they don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm like, man, y'all just took it to the stupid. Everybody knows about Garcia and Tank, but I'm telling you, I'm going to be tuned in, and I can't wait for these two fights to happen. They're coming up pretty soon. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. 2 solid fights, equally matched opponents. May the best man win.